All right, my friends. Hello there. How are you all doing on this fabulous Friday? You might be watching on a Friday. You might be watching on another day, but you're watching now. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me fix my camera a little bit. I feel like already I'm in the wrong place. Like I didn't quite set this up directly. And I feel like I'm, showing you guys my messy room. So we're going to turn this a little bit there, kind of pretend like you guys didn't see all that stuff in the side. Anyway, if you're new to God and Gigs, thank you so much for joining me. You have joined the Creative Checkup. This is our once a week live stream at 1 p.m., usually on Fridays, where we solve one specific issue that you have as a creative, one issue that you might be dealing with, something that is, making you struggle, that is keeping you from the life, the creative life that God created you to have. My name is Alan C. Paul. I'm your host and the founder of this platform, and we're here to help you as a creative to thrive in every area of your creative life by connecting the dots and fixing the problems between your creative life and your spiritual life. So the first thing I always do is I check and make sure that all the tech is working. I am looking around now to see if we have any comments and people jumping in, because when people jump in and they comment, number one, you help engagement, you help us reach more people. And then number two, you make me feel much better about the fact that there is actually a feed going through that people can hear me. So I always, and Instagram was not live. So that's why I'm glad I checked to make sure everything technically was working before we went any further. So let me do a couple more things here, click a couple more things and make sure we're good. All right, good. Now we're live on Instagram. And once again, I always want to make sure that we are being heard. But as long as I feel like everything's in order, we don't like to take a long time while we're getting set up. Emails just went out to many of you. If you're watching this later, you got the email, but you said, oh, I can't jump in to the live stream right at 1 p.m. That's fine. Just put replay in the comments and I'll know you were watching this later. And that always helps me because this always, of course, goes out to our entire community, to those who can watch online as a live stream and those who are watching later. So everybody's included, no issues there. So as always, I want to get right into our agenda, our checkup points, what we're going to be dealing with today. And today we're going to have a lot. We have a lot to cover. Okay. So be patient. I might have to fly through a lot of this, but if you feel like I'm going too fast, tell me slow down because there's so many things I want to cover today. Let me make sure Instagram, let me pull you over here. There we go. So I can see you guys. If you have comments, those of you who are on Instagram, I wish I could pull up your comments. I can't. I could pull up comments on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you guys are commenting, I'll be able to pull those comments up. Also, if anybody is watching and you are on our Facebook Live, I would love it. I'll try to do it myself, but it's kind of tricky to share this into the Facebook group because I want to make sure that Facebook can actually see this. And oftentimes, like I did today, I forget to share this into the group. We have a Facebook group as well. So let me quickly jump up here and see if I can slide this over and get this into the group. There we go. All right. It's funny watching myself even on the recording, but it's worth it just to make sure everybody can see it. Copy into group and we're done. All right. Enough of the technical stuff. And let's just tag everyone. I know some people don't like that everyone tag, but I find that it's very useful because I only use it when I actually want to share something that everybody would want to see, like this particular live stream. And there's other people that I was supposed to tag. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tag them right now. Michelle, let's make sure she knows about this because she said, please tell me when you go live. So we're going to make sure that she gets a tag. Boom. All right, now we can get started. I'm sorry about all that little stuff that I have to do before we get started because I don't want to waste your time watching me click buttons. So what we're doing first, we're starting with our member spotlight and our October events, which are many. Also, we are going to be talking then about what we have on our calendar, which is this is about fixing your social media captions, the thing that you're doing wrong that's actually driving people away from the very thing that you want them to watch, the thing you want them to download, to listen to. Social media is just part of the landscape. It's how we promote ourselves, but oftentimes what we say in our social media captions can actually make it harder for us to share what we're sharing. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about lab work, sharing something that I learned from one of our new established creative experts. She's been in the group for a long time. Actually, she's been an associate of mine for a long time, but now she's in our creative checkup group and our God and Gigs 360 group. So we're going to talk about her advice to me, which is pick up the phone and call people. Next, we're going to get into our consult, why church musicians are quitting. That got a lot of commentary. The consult is always the thing that we're building conversation around inside our groups and our social media. And finally, as I try to get through all of this, try not to lose my voice right away, prescriptions. We have a new version of our consistent creative challenge I want to share with you, a new way that you can take advantage of that. Even though we haven't done a challenge in a while, we're making it available to you. I'll explain that. And again, our October event and our quiz. So a lot to get to in an hour. I'm going to try to fly through this without rushing it. Okay, first of all, so proud and happy to be a part of 360 Gold, which is our mastermind membership as well as our 360 guest. This is our app that we have personal to us. It's not Facebook. No one controls it. We get to control it. We get to share what we want to share. No one can shut us down there. So we own this as part of Mighty Networks, our platform. And over there at 360 Gold, we have new members to welcome in. You might see some new names if you've been with us for a while. You see Charlene Fleurman, my dear friend, also known as Lavi, who's now a member of 360 Gold. Also, Lena Sabatino is a new name that you haven't seen before. She is also a member. We've added 2 new members. And then you go back a little bit and let me see, where is she? Claudette joined a couple of weeks ago. So we have a lot of new faces in God and Gigs 360 Gold. Okay. That's our mastermind group. That's our group coaching. Twice a month we get together. We have FaceTime. We really work together on building ourselves up as faith-focused creators with deep convictions and high morals. And then we have our guests. Our guests also get full access to the app, but they just don't get the full coaching. They're more hanging out in the forums. They're sharing. And you'll see one of our spotlight members this week is one of our 360 guests. So you don't have to be a gold member to participate in 360. It's the best way, but it's not the only way. Okay, so that's what's going on in our membership. Speaking of our new member, I just mentioned Lena Sabatino is our newest established creative expert. An established creative expert in God and Gigs is someone who has already shown a high capacity and ability to create the creative life, the platform, the business. They have something to offer way beyond what I could just teach them, right? They're teaching me something. So if someone is teaching me something in established creative expert way, I then extend to them the established creative expert label, which then makes them qualified, honestly, to just run the show when it comes to anything inside 360. And this includes Linus, who is a vocalist. You just heard her on our podcast episode 302, I want to say, or is it 301? I think it's 301. So episode 301, gottogigs.com/301. Her social media, her sharing of our podcast is blowing up. So many people are enjoying that episode. So I would invite you to go listen to it. Linus is a breath of fresh air. And as I said, she's now hanging out in our 360 Gold program. Speaking of 360, you probably haven't seen, I really want to show you guys what it really looks like inside the group. And this is just the front page. This is the top news page. As you can see, our top members there. You can see everybody that's been posting and sharing their comments and their posts. You can see our author circle, our inspiration circle, our marketing and tech circle, our free downloads, our news, our inspired creators collection. Like, you can see that this is a whole like campus in a sense. This is our God and Gigs 360 campus, where all the stuff with the community happens. So I would love for you guys to be a part of that. Once again, you can find that at gottogigs.com/membership. Let me find that real quick. There we go. gottogigs.com/membership is how you can get in to and see all the different options. There's about 3 obvious options. There's our crash course, just $10, simple course, one-time fee. You can still get in. It also allows you to get into our Inspired Creators collection, $10 a month. That is where you get the templates and the guides and the forums, just no live coaching. And then, of course, $50 a month is our live coaching and our mastermind level. Speaking of our members, let's give it up for Mitchell. I don't know if you're watching this, Mitchell, but you are our member spotlight for this week. I wanted to start doing this because it's been so fantastic to see someone like Mitchell, who I was on his podcast. He's an amazing soul, an amazing creative. And then seeing someone like him get into 360. Again, in the forums, he is just sharing. He is sharing what's going on with his Infinite Stories podcast. He is generating conversation. We call him a creative conversation starter, right? He's a creative connector. So I want to give it up to Mitchell. If you guys watch this later, those of you in 360, give a shout out to him. Say, hey, thank you so much for starting conversations, for being a creative that really wants to love God, but also love the creative process and connect people together. I love what Mitchell's doing. So we definitely wanted to give him a shout out. And oh, look who is here live. Speaking of ECEs, our established creative expert and my mentor, LaShonda, is in the house. Thank you for joining us, as I was able to join you. That live stream that you just did was fire. On memberships, as you can see, I'm already stealing some of their ideas about member spotlights. I said, we're going to do this. We're going to do this right away. So that is our member spotlight for that particular person. Mitchell, welcome again. Thank you so much for joining. And if you want to know what ECEs are, LaShonda is an ECE over here. Again, Linus, an ECE. These are people who, again, you could literally be talking to them inside the membership at any time. You know, they sell courses that could cost whatever, and yet they are offering their time inside our membership, because this is kind of like a cocoon where all of us creators can hang out, and someone like Linus can just be fed and kind of just enjoy being there instead of necessarily being a mentor like she is in her own membership in her course. She gets to hang out and just be one of us. So speaking one, now I might need to take this down because we might be, but I do want you to meet Ayana. She's also one of our creative experts, but I think I just saw a message from her. We might be changing this date for this training because I was trying to put a placeholder, but she's also one of our established creative experts. She's sold hundreds of thousands of dollars in courses. So she's a piano educator. Yes, you can sell piano courses online. So this is going to be also coming up in October, but I might have to change that date. So we're going to skip over that just for now. Something else happening in October as I try to squeeze in all these events. October 17th, I will be presenting on the podcasting Made Simple Live that's presented by Podmatch. And it is so special that I get to be with Alex and Alicia, his amazing wife. I will say this. I hope he doesn't see this. Leah calls them, or says Ken and Barbie, because they're just like, they look like the perfect, like, Ken and Barbie thing. Like, I don't know if you see that, Please don't tell them I said that because then Leo will get mad at me and then I'll get in trouble. But anyway, that is going to be going on October 17th. You can join for free if you are a Podmatch member. So as a Podmatch member, I'm having trouble talking today. A Podmatch member is someone that is a part of Podmatch, and this allows you to connect with podcasts that can either you can be a host and find guests, or be a guest and find podcasts to be on. And this is where I highly recommend every single creative and God and gigs be a part of this. You need to be on other people's podcasts, you guys. Most of you have incredible platforms, and there are podcasters who are begging for people to be on their shows to share what they know. And yet sometimes we just, we don't know if we can get our message out. Matter of fact, this whole live stream is about getting your message out. And yet here's a place that you can learn how to be a host and be a guest. But again, I'm talking more about the guesting side because many of you may not have a show, but all of you can be a guest. So my presentation is going to be on how to be a guest, how to get your brand identity solid so that you can build trust faster. As soon as you show up, you don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk, and people go to your website and they are immediately are, hey, I want to get with that person. I want to buy what they have. I want to listen to their music. I want to see their videos. So we're going to talk about how you can build trust faster in this event, but you've got to be a part of Podmatch, or at least go ahead to podmatch.com/event and join this event. It's amazing. Alex is, again, a believer. He has God engaged material through and through. Hopefully we'll get on the podcast one day soon. So last but not least, which of the 5 creative personalities are you? If you have not taken our quiz yet, please go to godandgigs.com/quiz. Check out the quiz. That is such fun to find out which of those 5 types of personalities you are, and it will show you exactly what you need to know in order to get moving toward being a highly motivated and confident creative. Okay, so godandgigs.com/quiz. Again, I don't know why I don't have that as a banner already. Like, what's wrong with me? That should have been there, but you can see it right there. All right. So I think I got through all the October announcements. There was a ton of stuff. There's some other stuff that I didn't even get to, but I want to make sure I get to the content as fast as possible and don't have you guys waiting. Also, once again, if you're watching, please like and subscribe, because when you like and subscribe to this, other people see it. When you like and subscribe on Instagram, it reminds people that, hey, we are hanging out there too as well. As a matter of fact, before I start, let me take a quick look. Oh my gosh, Instagram is blowing up and I didn't see you guys. St. Drew 24, thank you for joining. Hit the snare, Radical Shaw. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Again, it's so hard to keep an eye on both screens at the same time. I got to put this over where I can see it. I don't know. Maybe I can put it here. Yes, thank you so much, Drew. Thank you for watching. Greetings and good afternoon to you too. This is awesome. Hopefully everything is working out fine on the technical side, because I want to make sure you guys get the best experience you can on Instagram, even though I know that we are a little bit smaller because of the whole screen thing. All right. Whew. I think I got through everything. I'm going to just take a breath and let's jump into our vital signs. So the whole point of our vital signs is a kind of a little bit of a pointed, you might be kind of, feel a little sensitive about this. I'm going to pick at you a little bit, but we're all going to feel it a little bit because all of us struggle with this. What to do with our social captions, our social media captions. First of all, I get tired of talking about social captions and social media as much as you do. As a matter of fact, every time it comes up as a topic, I think, do we have to talk about this? Aren't we creatives? Why do we have to be content creators? Why do we have to talk about social media? Why do we have to be media personalities? I go through the exact same talk you probably do anytime social media comes up, until you have an event, you have a sale, you have a product, you have a download, you have a song. And it's like, oh, there's no way I can avoid social media. I have to be in this place because here's where my community is, my audience is, my listeners. That's where they are. And so we don't have a choice, friends. We do have to talk about social media, and then we got to be able to do it well. And I'm going to, again, be a little bit, I've redacted a lot of stuff from this. I'm not going to pick on anyone that I know. But when I saw the specific caption, I felt this very much kind of exemplified what many of us are either doing or kind of in the space of, yeah, you're kind of doing the wrong thing. So once again, no one I know, but Tell me if this sounds or feels like something you've written before on a caption. I'd really appreciate it if you check out my new song, Crazy Face Emoji. First time writing and recording everything by myself and trying for a fresh start at this music thing. Let me know what you think if you have time to listen. And you can't see down there, but down lower, there's a Spotify with the entire link, the whole with the two, like you see right there. That link goes another 6 lines. Okay. And then after that, underneath, there's a YouTube, which again is the whole link, YouTube dot 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 for like another 3 lines. So he put the Spotify link, which was the entire link of whatever it was, and the YouTube link, which was again was a crazy code that we all see at the end of these YouTubes and the URL. But of course, 99% of us will never, ever, ever remember. No, let's say 100% will never remember that whole code, right? So let's talk about this and let's talk about ourselves, me, you, everyone. Why is this an example of how creatives mess up their own social media because of how you present what you're sharing? So let's first talk about all the times this person basically implies that this isn't necessarily a great experience. I'd really appreciate it if you check out my new song, First Time Writing and Recording Everything by Myself. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is your first time writing and recording? And you're trying for a fresh start at this music thing. So already you basically told everyone, this is kind of a hobby. This is, something I'm going to try, but who knows? Let me know what you think if you have time to listen. How many of you have ever seen a caption or social media post, and the first thing you said is, you know what? I've got extra time today. I've got nothing else on my plate. I just feel like spending time listening to random music from someone who would appreciate it. And I'm not trying to poke fun at anyone that is altruistic, who is like, hey, I don't want to be salesy. I just want to share. I'm not trying to get a bunch of downloads. I just want to share what's going on. And this is the way I talk. So this is the way I would post. I understand that that is the case for many of us. However, let's be honest. And those of you watching on Instagram, this is a perfect place for you guys to jump in, because 90% of you are probably watching or you're scrolling and you've seen posts like this. You've seen posts like this where people are asking you in a very kind of roundabout way, begging a little bit like, hey, please listen to my song. Please stop. Please listen. Please stop scrolling. And everything is kind of like in this tone of, I hate to say beg. That's not the word I'm looking for. This pleading, this kind of, I need you to help me, right? That's the tone it's giving. It's giving, I'm needy. It's giving, I really need this. I would appreciate it if you would stop all that you're doing and help me, right? And so here's what most social media captions that mess you up do. They make the reader feel like they have to do you a favor, to stop and listen, to stop and listen to the video, watch the video, to buy the product, to whatever it is. These types of captions put all of the focus on you and what you want the other person to do for you. Let me know what you think. If you have time to listen, meaning if you take some time out of your day to listen to this random song, which I have no idea what it sounds like. There's no indication of the genre. There's no indication of like, why would I even like this? It's just a new song. I have no idea who you are, sir. And again, I hate to pick on this person, but this is just a perfect example of what's wrong with many people with their captions. All it is a request. Please listen. Please buy. Let's get tickets. That's it. Like, why? If you would even just take a moment to explain why, is this making sense to anyone that's watching? because I see some of you there, and I would love to get some yeses or some hey amens, because I don't know about y'all, but this is a pet peeve for me. I saw this in several other posts just before I got online, that people were like, if you're posting an event, please tell me what city it's in and what state, because this is the World Wide Web. And I don't know what state you're in if you just put Pine Street. You need to tell people more about why you want them to be connected with you in social media. Even if you're not a extrovert, you're not someone that likes to be, again, we think it's salesy, but the key is, yes, okay, there. Thank you, Jody. Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. It doesn't compel me to click your link. 100%. And that's a great word, a compel, because compel, even though it is kind of, it's kind of this idea that, okay, click on the link because again, you got better things to do because you have nothing better to do than to click on a random link. We just don't have the time. All of us are focused on what we're doing. And Jody says, yes, please listen to this state. That's the worst. It's even things when I want to go to them, right? Even when you like the thing and then you read the caption, you're like, I have no idea what this is. And now I have to do all the research to figure out whether I even want to go to your thing because the flyer says this and that. So I don't want to dwell on this particular link because, like I said, I don't want to pick on this guy or this lady or whoever it is, right? Let's talk about what we can do to fix this. What we want to do, everybody, to fix your social media captions is change the focus. This is the one thing. We're going to probably do a much longer training on this. As a matter of fact, let me be honest with you. I was about to schedule a training, a 2-hour workshop on how I'm getting 50% opens on my emails, how I'm getting, again, I'm not a huge social media person. I just try to be very effective with what I do. So how am I able to create these captions and do what I'm doing and then see other people do these captions and get immediate results and not get ignored and be able to do it time and time again? So if you want a writing workshop, maybe put write in the description or in the comments. Just write the word write, WRITE. Put write, and then I'll know. If I see about like 5 of those comments, I'll know that this is something I should do. Time zones can be huge for virtual events. Yes, I had to learn that the hard way, LaShonda. Remembering that time zones had to be put into the actual thing, because I would say it's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock when? This very live stream, 1 o'clock Eastern is 10 o'clock on the West Coast. That's a big difference. It's a huge difference. You know, if I'm checking in right at lunch time and over here, if those people are getting ready, we're just finishing breakfast. So, all right, that's right. We got some Bootstrap fans in the building. So let me focus on this though, because I want to make sure we finish this. Change your focus. So the focus should not be on me when I'm posting, when I'm writing a caption. The focus should be on the reader. This is the number one thing you can do to change all of your captions to make them better. Forget ChatGPT. Forget all the other things that you're thinking, oh, well, I need to do all the things. If you just change your focus of what you write in your captions from what you need, what I need as the creative, what I want people to do, and change it to what the person that's reading is thinking, what the person that's reading is feeling, what the person that's reading is considering. If you just change the focus and write from their perspective, all of your social media captions will immediately become better, and so will your emails, and so will everything else. And I'm not saying this because I'm the best writer in the world. I've just done a lot of reading. And because I've done a lot of reading, I've done a lot of processing. How do people absorb information? And we always absorb information. We can't absorb information from the perspective of the writer. We always receive it and listen and hear it from our perspective, from the individual that's reading. And then we filter it in. So if you change your focus to what is the person that's reading, thinking, feeling, understanding, believing at the moment that they're reading this caption, you might say that's a lot. Well, let me just show you some quick examples that might help. Okay, so these are a couple of captions that I've written just in the past few weeks. I don't know if you can read this because it's super small on probably the Instagram screen, so I apologize for that. Jody, good to see you, man. Jazz Kelly, AJ Music, good to see you, brothers. Thanks so much for joining, and sisters. All right, so over here on, let me see, maybe I can build it up a little bit bigger. Let me see. I'm not sure if we'll make it bigger. If I go here, I don't know if that makes it bigger. Oh, a little bigger. Okay, that helps. All right, so this one over here was Linus, who, again, our newest established creative expert. And this was the caption that we did that got a little bit more than I'd say was that. I think it was like 6 or 7 comments. Think touring is the ticket to wealth for musicians. Think again. So this was obviously more of an educational post. But immediately what I'm asking them is I'm asking them a question. Do you think touring is the ticket to wealth for musicians? And I challenged them. Think again. This is not me saying, please listen. I don't even mention going to the podcast episode. If you read the rest of the caption, putting all your eggs in one gigging basket is very risky for any creative. I got to read this small writing. Planning in advance is crucial if you want the riches to accumulate a cumulative ministry administered in Sabbatino. So in other words, I'm serving the person reading. This is an educational post. This is what in our Cap Show class, I'm very much a student of Clap Show, and we're doing this thing called the Honey Trap Method. And this is called the controversial opinion post, right? So I'm putting a controversial opinion that would elicit a reaction and saying, hey, here's a stance. Do you agree or disagree? Right? So this caption is based on the idea that I want somebody to think about something and consider that if they believe it or not. Okay? And then it says, if this hits home, share this with a few musicians and creators who need to hear it. So if you agree, then share it. It also gives you the option, if you don't, a sense, basically without really saying so, it also says, if you don't agree, ignore it. That's basically what it's saying. If you agree, go ahead and say something. Repeat it. Share it. If you don't agree, no big deal. Don't click the link. I don't even put the name of the podcast episode. None of that. So you can see Linus responded. You can see I had Signia there, Finistro, who's been on the podcast, Intellectual Black Female, that is Charmaine over there. So all of our community members jumped in and shared a little bit of what they thought, right? But the key was about that caption is that nothing in that caption said, I need you to listen to this. I need you to watch it. I need. None of that. It was all based on what I wanted to share with the listener or the reader, right? And then let's go over here to this other one, Sit, Sing, Swing. That's our event. Tired of all the noise, let's leave the world behind and escape to music. Why is this caption effective? Well, the first thing I said was, are you tired? Are you tired of all the noise? Let me ask. I should ask in the comments if anybody is live here or even in the comments for replay. What are the key words? What's the key word? If there's a key word that you noticed in the way that I wrote that caption. Or maybe I just read the whole caption. You tell me what are some keywords if you think these were effective, because I think these were the things that made this caption effective. Let's leave the world behind and escape into the music. We're going there at August 25th in Miramar, 7:30 at our second show of the Uprising Jazz and Soul Experience. Want to escape with us? Message. I'm kind of giving it away. Message us with a, smiley face, I think. And I think it was a peace. That was a peaceful. That was my whole point, was peaceful. Because this was right after, I think, the Trump issue, something with assassination and a whole bunch of other stuff that's happening with, the election. And it was like, hey, this is what I'm offering you. And we'll send you a link with a thank you discount code. So I kind of gave it away there with my emphasis. But as you can probably tell, my emphasis was on we. I want people to not feel alone in this caption. This caption was designed with the whole point. Thank you. Exactly, Jody. Inclusive language and community. Yes. Thank you. You said it better than even I could say, because I was about to stumble into it. That is exactly what I wanted. I wanted people to feel included. I wanted you to know that this show will benefit you because it will provide you with community. It will provide you a place of escape. It will provide you a place where you'll feel insulated from all the craziness in the news, right? And so now a lot of these comments you can see were, now here's a little dirty trick. that it's not dirty trick, but it's kind of like, feels weird sometimes. I commented on my own post. And if it's a brand name and then it's a separate thing, a lot of people know that I'm leading this, but not everybody. So do I reply to my own post? Yes. Gets the comment started. Okay. If it's needed. If it's not needed, then I wouldn't necessarily do it. But sometimes you need to like just remind people that, oh, you can say something. You can stop scrolling. And then there's other people, responding to like the pictures because this was a carousel post. But what I think again gets people to stop reading for a second or start reading for a second and stop scrolling is that it's not just a, hey, buy this, read this, stop this, comment if. I do use the comment ifs, obviously, but I try to use it in a way, again, that's kind of flows with the comments. So I don't want it to just be, oh, comment and then stop. No, comment because you care. Is this making sense? I hope this is making sense because, again, I know I would probably do a much better job with this if I did an entire workshop, but we're not doing an entire workshop right now. But I am definitely considering if this is something that you guys would want. I will probably do it no matter what inside God and Gigs 360 Gold. I'll probably do that inside Gold, but we have not yet decided. So I hope that helped you to really get a sense of what will make your social media captions better. Okay. I can't go any further because, like I said, we could spend a long time on that. Let's jump into the next thing here. Thank you so much, Jody. Appreciate that for you commenting and sharing because that helps us. Again, if you're watching on Instagram, I'm also looking for your comments over here. That's it. Super small. I see you, AJ Music. Yep. You and us. Sounds like, okay. I see everybody commenting. Thank you so much, guys. I didn't see these. Linus is over here on Instagram. Nice. Thank you so much. Especially AJ said before, let me go back one slide because I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing because I know I kind of moved up a little bit. So we're talking about this right here. AJ said, especially when they send that to you on DMs, it can be uncomfortable. Yes, very, very much so. So good to have Linus over here. She said, yes, amen. It sounds like you're pleading people, but people, not things. Right. We don't want, to buy things. Right, exactly. Got it. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm glad it makes sense, AJ. All right, good. I'm glad we caught up with everybody on Instagram. I apologize. Sometimes, again, you get so many things going on, so many screens, and it's kind of hard to see everyone. But our Instagram family is strong, so I don't want to leave you guys out. All right, let's talk about lab work. Lab work are the things that are working for us, for me, for other people in the creative community right now. Things that we are trying out, things that have not been on my radar, but I'm trying them out. I'm trying to, lead by example, not by parking space. So this is one that I am taking on the chin because Ayana, our new established creative expert, she, right after our last live, you might have remembered that I brought her up and we were talking a little bit about her piano course, that she gave a free piano course. She gave a discount to all of our members. Some of them checked into that, the free piano course. And she's also going to be doing a webinar. We think November, maybe October. We'll lock that down after this call. But right after I got off the live last week, the phone rang. And guess who it was? It was Ayana Webb. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, like, that's so cool. You were just live streaming with me and now you called. And she's like, yeah, you're surprised, huh? I was like, yeah, I'm surprised. Like, people don't do that. She's like, yeah, that's how I get most of my clients. Most of my clients are shocked when I actually pick up the phone and call. And I actually learned this from many other amazing mentors in the virtual space. I heard this from Pat Flynn. I've heard this from other people who said, you've got to do the follow-up. And the best follow-up is just to pick up the phone and call. But I had not done that in a while. I used to do that with several other of our brands where the VIPs, I would make sure to get their phone number if they were okay with it. And I would call them and say thank you. Or with our events, I try to call them directly. I just got a call from our Sit Sing Swing event I just mentioned from one of our longtime community members who just want to say hello and say he's going to try to make it. But this is like a lost art, you guys. It's a lost art. That's why I used the old phone picture there. It is a lost art to just pick up the phone and call people. I am bad at this. Again, that's why I am practicing it now. I'm practicing it with a new coaching program I'm considering. I'm calling some pastors that might be interested in doing podcasting. And I'm just giving them a call. And some of us like get a lump in our throat. It seems like, oh my gosh, got to talk to strangers. We're not talking about cold calling all the time. What we're talking about is just being willing to take that extra step, because the sweetest sound anyone ever has heard is their own name spoken. And there's just something about you saying, hey, I'm going to break down the walls of this whole internet thing. It's not going to be an email. It's not going to be a DM. I'm going to ask first, obviously, for permission, right? For using someone's name or your number. Don't be just scamming people and grabbing phone numbers from anybody and just calling them random. Don't do that. But if you get permission, which is what I did, and the last thing I just did, which I'm doing exploratory calls to people who might want to do podcasting for their church or their ministry. We've gotten 2 podcasts now with we're starting a 3rd one over at my church. I am running 4 shows total. I've got a lot of knowledge. I've been doing podcasting since 2016. I'm like, I probably should be sharing this with more people. And so before I start a whole class and Zoom calls and webinars and all that stuff, I said, you know what? Ayana's right. I just need to pick up the phone and do calls. And it's not the kind of salesy call. It's a, hey, I just wanted to connect with you directly so you can hear my voice, hear I'm a real person, and actually make the phone call. Now, guys, this will be a blessing to you if you're talking about trying to connect with venues. This will be a blessing if you're trying to connect with new clients, with your VIPs. This was amazing for me when it came to my live stream series back in COVID. I definitely made direct contact through text and phone calls with some of our big ticket buyers. We talked to them directly on the phone. AJ Musical on Instagram says, this is convicting. I need to take this step for myself. Brother, I appreciate that. Okay. I am so glad, because that is really, let me move this down because this is bugging me. I feel like I'm looking at the ceiling more than anything. So this is really, here's what I get for messing with stuff. You guys see me in real time fighting with cameras. This is why we just should leave things alone. I just wanted to change it. Shouldn't have worried about that. So yeah, man, this is really convicting for me. It's convicting for me because I would love to hang my hat on. Oh, just send the Instagram, send the DM, everything virtual, and then maybe on a Zoom call, then I'll show my face. But the phone call thing, it is. Here's the thing I will share, and I'm going to get LaShonda. I love these notes LaShonda just put. The thing that I think that says to me that I should have known more than anyone is the same thing that a podcaster knows. Podcasters know that the most intimate type of thing is not visual, it's auditory. It is the most intimate. For someone to speak to you is honestly more intimate than just to see them. And so for me to call someone and actually talk to them, it's just, there's something about the human voice that is more authentic than even watching somebody talk. Like right now, you can see me. This is kind of like, hey, yeah, we're connecting. But if I was to pick up the phone and call you, there would immediately be a connection, triple that of what's happening in video. I want to bring up what LaShonda said here. Voice notes via DMs is also a great way to connect with your voice. 100%. I think that's right next door to the phone call. The phone call obviously is synchronous, and then the asynchronous would be the voice notes where people can hear you later. Same point though, use your voice, right? And then LaShonda says, I sent voice notes to all my founding members, welcoming them by name after they signed up. It worked so well. I do the same thing with a video, where now with people who join the God of 360, I quickly shoot a video and just put it on a YouTube short and make it private or unlisted. It's just personal connection. So I think the key of this, I think we're all agreeing, is personal connection is the key of this. And especially for us creatives, let's be honest. Well, again, we are asking people to kind of come into their world. We want to become like a fan. We want to become someone that they're a fan of. We want to become someone that speaks to them directly. But then if we're not willing to step into their world with our voice, and we still want to kind of be separate, I mean, there's just so much more, again, intimacy and honesty and authenticity in calling people. I'm working on it. So I'm preaching to myself. I'm going to try calling people more often, sharing what I have to share, And I think if you try this, just tell us what happens. Send an email to me at alan@godandgigs.com. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you're going to add the strategy to your creative toolbox, calling people like LaShonda said, or maybe even just doing voice note DMs, or something with Async, the tool that I know we use over at Bootstrap, the Async. I've used that for my church now. It's used very well. There's so many ways to do voice notes. But I'm really interested in who's going to pick up the phone calls. Oh, and by the way, this also implies collecting phone numbers when you connect with people, which again, don't just spam people. Actually ask, can I use your phone number? Can I get your phone number? I was shocked when I asked that question, and my person that gave me these last couple of leads for the podcasting for coach. By the way, anybody knows any pastors or ministries who are interested in podcasting, please hit me up. I'm going to make the same ask here. I am very interested in helping ministries. We're not talking about anything money and financial yet. We're trying to see if there's interest. And then if there's interest and we can build a program that will help churches and ministries grow their podcast or build a podcast, then I'll get to that point where we'll talk about how we can create containers and programs that people can invest in. Right now, I just want to see if there's any interest. So if you got interest in that, or a pastor or a preacher or a ministry that's like, man, we're already creating content all the time, let me know, because that's another ask, and I will call them. Okay, I will ask for is it okay if I have their phone number? I will give you mine, and I will say, is it okay if I call? Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. That's the ask, and that's what I believe more of us should start doing. Okay, awesome. All right, we're doing good here. There's 46. I think we're going to finish on time today, because last time we went way over, but it was a great session. Where are we at? We are here, and let me bring it back up because I lost it. Wait, what happened? Where'd it go? There it is. Let's go on to our consult. And this was a big topic, you guys. This got a lot of talk on our socials. We did an episode on 302, episode 302, godandgigs.com/302, on last week's live stream as well, on our church musicians quitting and why are they quitting, and why did I stay in church as a church musician, even though, technically I left full-time music ministry from my previous position, but now I am basically full-time music media and music, and God kind of expanded my territory because I was willing to step away from just the identity of church musician. So here's my consult with you guys. If you know a church musician, or you are one, and you've seen the kind of battle that goes on, you know that a lot of them are quitting because they don't get paid enough. Pastors don't like them. There was a huge brouhaha about pastors yelling at musicians from the stage, right, and belittling them. And musicians were like, we're done with this. And, this is why I go to the world. This is why I play secular music. And even though obviously I have absolutely no issue with that, because I think that we should be doing both all the time, excelling both in ministry and in industry. We talked about that last week. But I went ahead and posted this in the Facebook group and in our Facebook page. And y'all, the comments are going off. So I invite you, check out Facebook, our group, check out the page. You can find this post and ask you, do you think musicians are quitting for the wrong reason? Maybe you're one of those people that think musicians shouldn't get paid. Maybe you think this should be all ministry. Maybe you think that, musicians are trying to kind of get this special treatment. Meanwhile, the ushers and a lot of singers don't get paid. So maybe you're on that side. If you wait in there, feel free. You're going to get a lot of blowback from a lot of us. But I get it, because, hey, no other position that's kind of in that area for Sunday to Sunday to Sunday, you may say, hey, what's the difference? And I could help you with certain churches, but certain churches don't feel it's different. And musicians have to say, hey, why am I doing this? And we talked a lot about why I do this last week. But if you're interested in that topic, I would highly recommend you go check out that, because I would love to know what you think. Are musicians leaving for the wrong reasons? Are they, stuck on the whole payment thing? Why is that happening? Do you know any musicians that are kind of struggling with this idea? And if they are, please send them episode 302 of the God and Gig Show. It will encourage them whether they're paid or not. It will encourage them whether they are in secular music or not, send them that particular episode because I think they'll hear the heart behind what I'm sharing. I think it will help them to get their clarity back, even if they're considering walking away from ministry, walking away from playing every Sunday, whatever that is. I think it will help them. Okay, so that is our consult for today. So definitely would love your comments and to share about that. Good to see you, Jordan Max, as well over there. SJ Love on Instagram. Thank y'all for joining us. Instagram is doing really cool today. I love it. People popping in, popping out, but they are been consistent. Y'all been staying with us. Thank you. All right. Finally, we are at prescriptions. We're at 10 minutes left, so we have plenty of time. Good. So we can talk a little bit about any of these things. All right, y'all. So here's the thing. I literally just did this last thing in the last 10 minutes before we got online. I don't know why I like doing this. I don't know why we always seem to. Wait, is this Jordan? The Jordan I think it is? I have to check and see. This is Jordan I think because I know a few Jordans, but I'm wondering if this is the Jordan I think it is. All right, so you guys, there's so much, as I mentioned, that's happening in October. We're thinking about doing another challenge. I didn't have time to get that up and going, but we're thinking about doing another challenge. We have the pod match thing. We have 2 member calls. I have what was it? There was something else I forgot. See, I almost forgot. I want to put everything in the October calendar. There's a lot going on. And one of the things I realized is one of my favorite challenges, and one of the things that's been the most impactful, probably had more signups. I want to say at least 500 signups have come from our consistent creative challenge. Problem is that I don't know where I can fit it. I can't get another 5-day challenge with all the things we do with the challenge, with my live streams. We do a day, each day we do a live stream like twice a day. And then we have conversation about the lesson. And so the consistent creative challenge is like a thing, like it is a major thing for us in God and Gigs. And I feel horrible because I don't think we've done one this year. We might have done it in June. I don't even remember. I don't remember the last time we did creative checkup, a consistent creative challenge. So here's the thing. I was like, and LaShonda, thank you for this idea because I literally, again, I follow directions. I was like, what can we do to make this available to everyone who missed the challenge, but the information is golden. How to get productive, how to quit the procrastination, especially getting ready for 2025. Y'all, we're already 12 weeks away from 2025. Say it again. Slow down. Think about it. Starting next week, it is 3 months to 2025. 12 weeks away. It's basically here, y'all. Christmas decoration is going to be up probably like tomorrow. So we have to start thinking about 2025 now, because by the time you get to the holidays, you're not going to be thinking about it. So if you build habits now that make you consistent and productive, you're going to have a much better chance of actually sticking with those New Year's resolutions you make, all the goals you're going to make, instead of trying to build the habit as you try to achieve the goal. Follow me here. This is a little bit of education. I think this will bless you, though. If you are planning to achieve a major goal and you want to get that goal done in 2025, but you have to spend just as much energy building the habits that will allow you to make that goal possible, the likelihood is you will spend all of 2025 building habits, but not achieving goals. Are you following me? The problem is we try to achieve goals while building habits. I think I'm onto something here. Meanwhile, your goal for 2024 should be build a habit that will allow you to achieve a goal in 2025. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, I think I just dropped a little nugget there. I think I did. I really think, okay, Linus, you're over here on Facebook now. I see you. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Jordan. That's a great point. I wish I could pull up your comments over here on Instagram, but everybody can see it on Instagram. Yeah, I appreciate that because that's what I think it is. I think we spend so much energy. Oh, I'm going to get fit. I'm going to write 20 songs. I'm going to write 20 books. I'm going to up my Facebook channel. I'm going to get YouTube subscribers. Blah, 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 blah. You find all these goals at 2025. New year, new me, all this stuff. But at the same time that you set the goal, you have to also build the habit to set the goal. And when you fail at the habit, the goal falls apart because you haven't established a habit yet. And Atomic Habits, yes, it is one of our recommended books for God and Gigs. I think it's still in our library. I've reformatted the library a little bit. But one of the things that James Clear is really, really clear about is that you cannot build a habit that has not first been established. You cannot improve a habit that has not first been established. You have to establish the habit first. So why do I say all that? Jordan is right. Success is a habit, not a goal. Exactly. So why am I saying all this? It's because the consistent creative challenge was designed to help you build the habits that will make you consistently creative. Now that if you actually build that habit now, you'll be set for 2025, which is why we are, and I just literally made this live like right before this lesson. I am offering the challenge materials, the 5 emails, all of the challenge materials, and the worksheets that go with the consistent creative challenge to you as a standalone DIY email course. Okay. So if you have never taken a consistent creative challenge and you're like, I missed it, I'm offering it to you here as a course. Simply get the 5 emails, just like you would in the challenge, and the 4 or 5 worksheets. And in each email, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. You'll see a link, which I have not made public. You will see a link to join God and Gigs 360 Gold for free, so that, not gold, I'm sorry, 360, not gold. Gold is still got to invest, okay? But you can join our forums at the forum rate, right? At the low rate or whatever, the no rate. There will be a link inside that email which will give you access to the free pass so you can discuss. Because here's the part I didn't like about the challenge doing a DIY was that there's no discussion. There's no discussion of these lessons. There's no discussions of the how to evaluate your efficiency and how to enhance your environment and avoid distractions. Like there's no discussion. I'm like, the challenge is not going to work without discussion. But then I said, oh, wait, if I get them into the forum, now they can talk about it. And everybody in the forums knows because they've all done the challenge. Like everybody pretty much in God and Gigs, at least gold, they've all done the challenge before. Okay. So if you go to godandgigs.com, so that's consistent DIY. Okay, you can go in there. It is $25 one time, no subscription, right? Just a $25 cost, which I thought was very fair because of how much work we put into that challenge. And I'm giving it to you basically like just, hey, here. So you're getting the benefit of all the work we did, and you can get it whenever you want. So that is our prescription for today, to go check out godandgigs.com/consistent DIY. Go get that material and get consistent with the habit before 2025, because I want to do a big virtual summit. I really do want to do a virtual summit a la Podmatch, the way they're doing theirs. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do that in God and Gigs. So I want to get Linus, I want to get LaShonda, and I want to get everybody. We're going to do a like get ready for 2025. Again, they don't even know I'm going to do this. I'm telling them now. Y'all, you can hear my daughter's home today, by the way. I don't know if you can hear her. Hi, daughter. But if you guys want to do this virtual summit, I would love to hear it, because I think I want to do it. I think it would be really cool. LaShonda, Linus, if we could get Jaleesa, we could get D'Antonio, John Mike, Rich Kirkpatrick. Like we have so many ECEs. Pamela, Deborah Maher. Like, oh my gosh, like that would be a dope summit. And then we could make it, obviously, for those people who are in gold, it's free. And then for those who aren't in gold, those people should be compensated. That's a major investor they're making time. So that's something I want to do. But before we do that, I think it makes sense to go ahead and get you guys connected with this product so that you can get consistent before you move into anything in 2025. Makes sense? That's prescription for today. There's some other stuff I can talk about real quick as we're closing up. We're right about at an hour, right about 2:00. So AJ Music said, when you fail the habit, when you fail the habit, the goal falls apart. Got it. Yeah, man, I agree. 100%. Agree 100%. This has been a great call, you guys. I love this. Let me quickly go through just some of the other stuff that you might want to check out. Make sure, again, if you haven't checked out the podcast, godandgeeks.com/podcast will get you to any of the episodes. The latest one is episode 302. Episode 303 comes out on Monday. Wes Bird, incredible musician and musical mind. He has directed the St. James Live Atlanta. Is a like the best of the best musicians come through there. He's worked with Mike Phillips, also like I have, and so many other musicians. I think Will Downing, or is it People Bryson? I can't remember. He has an incredible discography. He's going to be on the podcast on Monday. Also, let me see if I remember. I think I covered everything. Membership, obviously, if you want to join godandgigs.com/membership to check out all the options, including the Inspire Creators Collection, $10 a month, gets you all the templates and the forums in our app. godandgigs.com/membership also takes you to gold. So you can get the $50 a month where you can join us, me, Charmaine, LaShonda, Claudette, oh my gosh, everybody. Okay, all those people you saw in the first thing. I can't even scroll back because I'll run out of time. Oh, I can do this. Look at that. I learned something new. So you can join Linus and all of us over there, all those gold members. You can join us twice a month and get some real encouragement from faith-focused creatives with deep convictions, high character, and who want to grow the way that God wants them to grow in their creative gifting. You can jump into that. Also, remember, if you want to sign up for the Pod Match event, go check that out at godandgeeks.com. Sorry, podmatch.com/event. Okay, that would be very cool. I'd love to see some of you guys learn how to be guests and become guests on other people's podcasts and expand and get free promotion for your stuff. And of course, remember we talked about social media. If you guys are interested in that workshop, we'll definitely do it in the membership. We might do an outside membership as well, outside webinar, but I'll see if you guys are interested in that, in a writing workshop on how to improve your captions, your emails, on everything. So that's another possibility. But October is going crazy right now. I don't know when I would fit it in. So that might have to wait for next month. We'll see. All right. God bless you guys. Everybody that joined us on Instagram, thank you so much. Let's do some quick shout outs to everybody. Bitter, Sweet. Oh, and just when I mentioned Podmatch, look who showed up on Instagram. So good to see the friends at Podmatch. And look, that's just a divine appointment. Divine appointment. How else do you guys jump in at the very end when I've got this thing up on screen? I don't even know how that happens. I don't know. I know how that happens. That's the Lord. Wait, let me make sure it's doing this. Okay. God bless you, Jody. Thank you so much for joining. Linus, thank you so much for joining. I love this. I love that Linus was on FB watching and she just changed over to YouTube. So she's bouncing back and forth. Thank you so much for Jody for joining us again. Awesome to see that our friend and our mentor, LaShonda, was there also hanging out with us. So this has been another great call, guys. I enjoyed this so much. I think we'll be on same time next week. We might have a different time. I have something that's coming up with a school event that I want to help out with. So I might change the date on one of these at a time, but I'll let you know via email right away. Okay. God bless you guys. This has been amazing. And remember, if you want to get the prescription for today, consistent creative checkup, or the challenge, I should say, is at Consistent DIY. godandgaze.com/consistent DIY. Literally just set this up just for you. Put all the emails, updated everything, all the materials from our Consistent Creative Challenge. And those of you who remember Consistent Creative Challenge, you know how blessed and much a blessing that was. All right, that's it for today, guys. We're out of time. God bless you. Until next time, continue to become the creative that you were created to be. God bless, and we'll see you next Friday.